virus is everywhere, leading to widespread fear and panic. People are isolated and alone. Governments are unsure and uncertain about what the future holds. These are scary times indeed. In times like these, people need hope now more than ever.
Whilst the rest of the world fell apart, I cut toxic people from my life, got an incredibly insightful diagnosis, and found my passion. What's up guys, Matty B here and welcome to No Going Back. After a long break, 6 months of inactivity, the world falling apart and going into lockdown, a lot of soul searching and life reevaluating, I'm back doing what I love, making videos and sharing my thoughts, feelings and ideas. A lot has changed in the world since I last posted a video, but a lot has also changed for me personally in the last 6 months, and I'm very excited to share with you everything that's happened. So before an ill-advised serving of a bat salad at a Chinese market, I was already knee-deep in my own issues that threatened to turn my world upside down. After going halves in a house with a member of my family, a role which rhymes with blister and that caused a lot more pain and irritation than one, I had a falling out. Some would say it was because I'd changed, that I wasn't the same person anymore, which is true. My whole goal in this life is to grow and change to become the best version of myself, and I make no assertions to the contrary. However, the falling out from my perspective was because I was no longer willing to tolerate financial and emotional abuse. So I made the decision to sell the house and cut ties with this person. Practical piece of advice, you are under no obligation to keep someone in your life if they're causing you pain, regardless of their relationship to you. A toxic person is a toxic person. From that point, my partner and I were essentially homeless. So we lived out of suitcases for months, house sitting here, there and everywhere, trying to decide where we wanted to settle down and live. Then the world turned on its head with a little virus that was all of a sudden everywhere and the world went into lockdown. Fortunately, my partner and I found somewhere reliable to hold up whilst we played the Groundhog Day of isolation on loop for 3 months. This was a challenge both physically and mentally, being cooped up, unable to go very far, and restricted from the gym, restaurants, and entertainment. However, I like to find the good in things, and where disappointment could have been my choice, I chose to focus on what I could control, to find the good in the situation. Of all the books I've read and the people I look up to, there are 2 things they all have in common: a great head of hair and a solid morning routine. As I had the great head of hair sorted, I thought now is a time to finally cement a rock-solid morning routine. And I did just that. It took a bit of trial and error, but I finally got something that I'm happy with and helps me start the day off right. With not much else to do except sleep and eat, I decided to try a few experiments with my nutrition, which ended up with me settling on a variation of intermittent fasting. Which for anyone who knows me knows how weird it is for me to go more than an hour without eating or drinking a smoothie. So periods of 16 to 26 hours without food were a massive shock and something I wasn't expecting to get as good of a result as I did from it. For those of you who don't know me, I consider myself a filmmaker and have made a few award-winning short films, as well as working professionally as a cinematographer and editor on documentary series and features. It had been a long hiatus between making a personal passion project, and as luck would have it, I was fortunate enough to be a part of a small group of filmmakers making an anthology of films from the pandemic. So I made a short film. The only issue was the total lack of cast, crew, and resources that would have been accessible outside of lockdown. But nevertheless, I pulled it off. But what was interesting was being in front of the camera in an acting capacity reminded me of how much I love doing it, and unintentionally rekindled a long lost dream, a passion that I am fully embracing and going after now. Once we were allowed back out with less restrictions, I decided to find a good therapist. As luck would have it, I found the best one I've found so far, whom after one session may have stumbled upon a diagnosis that connects so many dots for me and explains why I am the way I am. This feels like an entirely different topic for another video, but needless to say, I'm excited to have found a therapist that I connect well with. And as if all these things weren't crazy enough, my girlfriend got offered an amazing job in another city and we're packing up our lives and moving states. It's a crazy time, but very exciting all the same. So why am I telling you all of this? Simple. For me, it's about focusing on the good, on what's going right in the moment. It would be so easy to focus on the pandemic, the economic harshities, the job insecurity, the months of life lost being in lockdown, having to sell my house and having family dramas, but it's a choice I get to make in the moment, and I choose to focus on the good. The severing of toxic relationships, the moving on from stagnant environments, the self-improvement and growth, the unearthing of my passion and the chance to get to share all of these experiences with those of you who find value in what I have to offer. I am ultimately excited for what the future holds, and I cannot wait to share this adventure with you all. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm Matty B, and be kind to one another.